Hi, this is Alexplain. This time I will explain the Zaku II, the backbone of the principality of Zeon Military. Since its introduction, Zaku II have gone through many changes. In fact, Zaku II have been continuously modified and recreated long after the 1-year war ended. What we have here is one of the most common type of Zaku II, the F-type, with missile pods that is generally associated with the J-type or the F2 type. After signing the Antarctica agreements, Zaku II can no longer carry miniature nuclear warheads as they did in the Battle of Loom. And those nuclear warhead carrying Zaku IIs are known as the C-type. They have heavy radiation and EMP shielding in them. After they are removed, they are identified as the F-type. That's what we have here, the Zaku II-F. And from that point on, the F-type becomes the space type of Zaku II, since they have the least specialist parts and equipment. The frontline can either salvage the F-type to repair their Zaku II variants, or put specialist equipment on the F-type as a makeshift solution. The Zaku II F-type is also often portrayed as space use or space type. However, for the Zeon, the F-type was the general or altering type. This discrepancy is a little bit of a tragedy. Since Zeon is based on the sci-fi space colonies, they are more or less living in a greenhouse with a gentle breeze. Air is fairly clean unless the circulation system is malfunctioning, and occasional rainfall to regulate the balance of the internal moisture level. Living in the void of space itself is life-threatening, but beside from the relative rare space weather, there is no destructive weather or geological activity to speak of. Thus, the F-type was built without considering dampy tropics, freezing tundra, muddy jungles, sandy desert, rocky mountains, and all the weather and geological activity that creates a first condition for mobile suits to operate. So while the F-type was doing well on asteroids, the moon, and interior of space colonies, they suffer unforeseen malfunctions as Zeon's invasion on Earth lengthens. The solution is what become known as the J-type, adding dust cover to backpack's main cover that we will not see here because this is an F-type, sealing off apogee and auxiliary thrusters that have little use on Earth, strengthen the structure and shock absorption of the mobile suit in general. The Earth also provides some blessing to the J-type. Air cooling is a lot more effective than passive radial cooling, and is not limited to internal coolants. Gravity also introduced tactics like indirect firing, hence the adaptation of the missile pods. Otherwise, both F-type and J-type use the same assortment of weapons: the 120mm machine gun, the single-shot bazooka, and the Hit-Hawk. Formerly known as the ZMC-38 or MMP-78, the 120mm machine gun is pretty much synonymous with Zaku II itself, often being referred to as the Zaku machine gun. Originally loaded with HE rounds to deal with ships' defenses and other AFV like space jets, they also have AP rounds for anti-mobile suit combat and frag rounds for anti-air, since Zaku II doesn't have the same flight performance as it has in space when it's on Earth. The single-shot bazooka is also known as Zaku bazooka, although it is a group of bazooka that some have internal clips and some have magazines. Originally designed to launch military nukes as anti-ship measures, its large payload can still cripple most ships and mobile suits with conventional explosive. The Hit-Hawk was originally designed as a breaching tool, allowing Zakus to breach armor hatches and blast doors alike. Its superheated composite edge can theoretically hack through any material, but in practice reheating the edge will wear it out quickly. The Hit-Hawk found itself to be an exceptionally effective weapon against other mobile suits, because the superheated edges also generate a plasma field that can block beam saber, and it was one of the few weapons that can damage Gundamium before the introduction of Zeon's own beam weapons. The missile pods are usually filled with heat-seeking or laser-guided missiles to avoid Minovsky particle interference. They are mostly fitted with HE warheads, function as support weapons rather than anti-armor. There are other weapons available to Zaku II F and J type, but we will talk about them when we have them in hand. Between the F-type and J-type experiences, Zeon eventually produced real altering types of Zaku II, for example the aforementioned F2 type. However, Zeon surrendered before those can be widely deployed. While some of them would end up serving the Federation, those would also have their own video.